Hello, everybody. What is going on? I know it's been a minute since I've been on, but back here at it again, ready to talk to you all about some things that are definitely near and dear to my heart, and that is traveling and geo arbitraging. This is something that I've been doing now for quite some time, since 2020 now. So 4 years I've been living in different countries and traveling to different countries and just kind of getting to experience the different ways of life, the different cultures, the different ways that people live and have all this, just different. And so, before we get started, do me a favor. If you like traveling, if you like mixing your traveling with your investing, I need for everybody to smash that like button so the algorithm drives more people here because this is going to be a really, really, really good um, YouTube that I've just been kind of piecing together in my brain. Okay, I've been piecing together in my brain over the last week since I've been here for about, oh man, I think I want to say 6 days in Dubai as of tomorrow. Um, but still getting used to the time. The time changes has been a little bit of a bitch, especially with our daughter. That's why I'm talking with a little bit lower because she's right in the other room down the hallway. But um, so when I came to Dubai, um, I I came with a very open mind. I didn't think that I was gonna, come here and want to stay here. Um, and there was a lot of things that really stood out to me. And I had actually a lot of friends, a lot of people that are in the crypto industry that live here. And Dubai is still standing, Hayward Cole. Dubai is still standing. Um, but I came with just a very open mind. I came to find and network with people because I knew that it was a very, very um, good networking and crypto hub, AI hub, entrepreneurial hub, trading hub. I mean, you name it. There's gold, there's FX trading, there's all sorts of really, really cool things here in Dubai that I really, really like, and it's really, really cool. Now, I live in the country of Panama right now. And, Panama for me and my family has been a great stepping stone. All right. It's been a really, really great stepping stone because, um, my wife and I, we lived in Costa Rica. We lived in the jungle, okay, for, oh gosh, I want to say 5 months, close to 5 months. We lived on beaches, in Costa Rica. It was really cool. We lived in the country of Georgia, not the countryside of Georgia, but the country of Georgia next to Russia, which was also a really, really cool place. Um, but there, there's always been, one thing or another that each place has had or hasn't had. Okay. And for me, a main thing that I really wanted was, freedoms, right? For the most part. I didn't want to be locked down. If and I'm not going to say the word, but if I wasn't, then I didn't want to have to present a card, right? This was back in 2020, if you know what I'm saying. I just want to say it on YouTube. But I also wanted some freedom to like grow my company and do the things that I wanted to do and surround myself with some like-minded people. And up until this point, Panama has been really, really good. It was a good stepping stone. Okay. It was a good stepping stone because my wife and I, like, we really didn't know what to do because we just were sick of the jungle. Costa Rica is just not our jam. It could be your jam. Wasn't our jam. It was just a very, very slow paced life. We wanted some city life. And so when we went to Panama, we were like, whoa, this place rocks, right? They had a great city center and for Latin America. Okay. It was safe. And it's pretty darn great place if you're gonna maybe just leave the United States or leave one of your Western countries and you kind of want a place to start off slow. The other great thing about it is the cost of living is really, really low there. But it comes with its stuff. All right. And there's some things that I've kind of even approached some of the bigger people in Panama, like about cleaning the city up. And there's some things like the government corruption, which all governments are corrupt, and we're going to talk about this here in a little bit, okay? But it's pretty bad, okay? Given that it's Latin America, though, it is what it is. It's pretty blatant down there. I think in the United States, it's kind of getting blatant as well with all the insider trading and stuff. But in Latin America, it's if you're in the the upper 1%, you got ins. You got ins, and the government is gonna, you know, I don't want to say what, but because I still live there. But so, in coming out here, there was some realizations that I had. Okay. And those realizations were, this is going to be really hard for some of you to hear, but life isn't fair. Okay. Life is not fair. And I've always been kind of this type of person that's like, I want to help as many people as I can. I want to help everybody. But the older I've gotten and the more I've gotten into this business, I realize not everybody's going to be helped. And there's certain levels in life, in this reality. And it does it suck? Yeah. Would I love to have everybody at the same level in terms of earning income and having opportunity? Yeah, I would. Like deep down at the bottom of my heart, I would really, really, really love to see that happen. But it's a way that life has been structured, unfortunately, or fortunately for some. And so I I sat here in Dubai and I did a little bit of research and I started like going into like the dark side of Dubai and all this stuff. And you can find the dark side of every country, the dark side of Panama, the dark side of Mexico, the dark side of US. And at the end of the day, you kind of like just have to take a look at it from a personal level and weigh the pros and the cons. Okay. And one of the things that I found was, oh my gosh, everything is fake in Dubai, right? Everything is built from nothing, everything's imported. It's true. Okay. Everything is imported. A lot of it is imported. Uh, I don't want to say everything is fake in Dubai because the buildings are pretty darn real. uh, Everything is pretty darn real here. But in terms of who's here, lots of entrepreneurs, wealthy people who don't want to get reprimanded by their governments and taxed to death for being successful. And I'm going to cover that here in a little bit. Okay. I'm going to cover that here in a little bit. But so that was one of the things. Another one of the things is, you've got these labor camps, in the outskirts of Dubai where people are sleeping on top of each other. Guys, gals, it's time to have a come to Jesus with you guys. All right. A come to Swami. So pick up that telephone that you're watching this from, or that laptop that you're watching this from. And if it says made in China, made in India, made in Vietnam, you think that you're not participating in taking advantage of a very, very low class wage earner society somewhere else in the world. You may not be doing it in your country, which we'll get to that here in a little bit. But I promise you, you are taking you're taking a part of it worldwide. That's why a lot of those jobs got shipped out of the United States back in the 90s because we kept consuming and we wanted cheaper goods. What did you think was going to happen? I used to work with Hispanics, primarily Mexicans in Southern California. Okay. And I lived in Laguna Niguel, which is a really nice Southern Orange County city, but I worked in Santa Ana. A lot of my clients were from Santa Ana, deep, ugly parts of Los Angeles. A lot of my clients were from Monterey Park. I had to go sign these cases up. I was in the law. I had to go sign their cases up at their homes in Monterey Park. All right. Rough parts of town. And if you think that those people did not live on top of each other, I would walk in and there would be 14 people inside of a 1,000 square foot apartment. They were there. And guess what? As much as everybody wants to sit here and close the borders and all this BS that, a lot of Republicans are yelling, which is all nonsense, by the way. It's complete nonsense. They don't want the border closed. They want something so that y'all can keep fighting about. Because the more that it pisses you off, the more likely you're going to vote for them. And vice versa. But you've got a working class that's going to do it for way cheaper, that keeps your food cheap at McDonald's, at Starbucks, at whatever. And maybe they're not the baristas. Maybe they're the janitor. Whatever it is that they are, it's contributing to a lower cost of your living in the United States. And so when people sit here and they're holier than thou about some people that have come here to Dubai looking for opportunity, and again, we're going to talk about this here in a little bit, it irks me because I'm like, who are you to sit here on YouTube saying that when you don't even know? You have no idea. Okay. Now, again, there's always going to be a working class until probably AI takes over. And then there's going to be, I don't know, a serious issue because we're going to have to take care of that working class because those jobs will be replaced by robots eventually. And I seriously think I could see that happening in 10 years, but we're not there yet. We still got about 10 years to go before we hit that chasm. But in the meantime, these people, just like the Mexicans who came over from the United States, from Mexico, or Latin Americans who came over from Latin America, I'm going to be honest with you, in California and Texas, it's the majority of them is Mexicans, okay? But these were people that were coming and looking for opportunity. The difference is this. They came over undocumented, which, guys, gals, put yourself in their shoes. That's part of being compassionate, right? So many people are up in arms about this. But if you had the opportunity to migrate to a country where you could make enough money to where you can send more money home to make your lives better for your family, would you or would you not do that? Put yourself in their shoes for a few minutes. And you tell me that you'd rather not receive $400 or $500 a month from, a family member working their tail off in the United States versus making $300 per month and doing God knows what. Some of them are sex workers. Some of them are doing the worst of the worst jobs that you can imagine, right? So, and by the way, I don't lean left, I don't lean right. I just kind of take my life experiences and I throw them out there, and I call it the way I see it. You can disagree with me, that's all good. All right? But I'll tell you that these people came to the United States for opportunity. Now, what is it that the people here in Dubai, the immigrants, the difference? Well, if you come to Dubai as any form of a worker, okay, um, as a bellman or as a an engineer, uh, you get a very very quick visa. You get a very very quick work visa. It's super simple. It's not difficult. Okay, the government here, there is no fat like the United States. And again, we're going to talk about that here in a little bit. All right. And by the way, if this is a topic that you're interested in, you want to learn more about countries outside of the world, you want to learn more about how you can geo arbitrage, smash that like button and also send this to somebody that you know because they may need to hear this. Okay. So, what's the difference? If I come here, I have to get a work visa. They're not going to let you in otherwise. So their border is down packed. Very, very few illegal immigrants. A lot of immigrants from India, Bangladesh, um, the Philippines. Lots and lots of work immigrants from there. Lots and lots of workers. Now, if you come here and you work, then you're going to be all right. If you contribute to society, you're going to be okay. But if you lose your job, you got 30 days to find another one or you're out. Sorry, this is the way it is. Remember how I said at the beginning of this YouTube, life is not fair. Life is not fair. All right. Yeah, I wish maybe it could be a little bit longer. They've got their ways, and this is their country. They're gonna run it the way they're gonna run it. Now, I want to share something with you here that pertains to this. What I'm saying here. So there's been a let me see here. Oh man, let's see. Not Brave tab. How do I share? Hold on. Sorry, everybody. I have a Oh man, I don't think I can actually share that particular tab because it's in my. Let's see if we can actually hack this because I really want to show y'all what I got here. Okay, here we go. Let's see here. To share audio, share a tab instead. Oh, okay. So, anyways, there's this scene from Avatar: The Way of Water. All right, let's see if it'll play here. And essentially, um, Sully, okay, ends up. My internet's a little bit slow. I don't know why, but Sully, the guy for the original guy from the first Avatar, and his family come and they show up because they're running away from this war. Okay, that they're these humans are hunting him down now because they ran the humans out. And let me stop sharing this. And so what ended up happening was he shows up to this new village in the water, right? And he's got his three kids with him, three or four kids. I can't remember how many kids he's got. And he he pleads to the tribe leader. He used to be the tribe leader in the trees or whatever, and he pleads to the tribe leader of the water. And essentially he wants to kick him out because he doesn't want the war to come to him, and then they have kind of this pact between their tribes, and he's got to take him and his family in. So he goes, okay, you guys can stay, but I don't want you to tomorrow we're going to show you how to work essentially here, and I don't want you to be cursed with the curse of being useless. And if you guys go to like minute 54 of the movie, you'll see it. It's one of my favorite scenes of any movie. And I remember seeing that for the first time and I was like, "Oh, okay. That I get that." Like if we're going to be a tribe, all right? You got to put a fucking oar in the water. You got to put an oar in the water. There's no two ways about it. And it sucks because countries like where I'm from in the US, they've created this welfare state. And look, I'm not like this horrible person that's like, I don't think we should take care of single moms, let them die. I don't think that. But I do think that the US has incentivized um, people becoming single moms so that they could live off of the government. And they've created loyal voters out of people like that. And it's unfortunate. It's really, really unfortunate. They these now there's also the issue of inflation. With inflation, they keep you tied to having to work your butt off just to make ends meet. And that's where now the mom needs to go work, the dad needs to go work, but then what do? They end up having to live off of the government. Now, this is just showing me that the United States is going towards a socialistic government. All right. And I remember that there was a day and it wasn't perfect. All right. It was not perfect. There was a lot of racism. There was a lot of injustices. Okay. A lot of workers that got totally screwed. Okay. But there was a time where it was a little bit better. There was a time where, like, you didn't want to suffer the curse of being useless, right? And the US was flourishing. But this is part of the cycle in the rise and falls of empires. And the US is on the same track as that right now. So we had this great rise of the middle class. Man, the middle class was growing like crazy in the 40s and the 50s. And the chasm between the lower class and the upper class was really coming and being turning into a shorter thing until 1971, when the dishonest government that was printing the money, and they said that it was being backed by gold, said all bets are off. No more. No more. We're making up the rules, and we've got the world's reserve currency, and it's backed by the full faith and credit of the United States, which a lot of us know where that's headed right now, because every one of you that lives in the United States is cursed with the greed of the government and their ability to just keep printing money. Now, let me show you some tabs here in regards to how much the budget was. Okay, this is how much the United States actually ended up spending last year in 2023. And here's the total revenue. So a little bit shy of $2 trillion less. $2 trillion less. that they took in. And it's year after year after year that this keeps happening. Year after year, guys and gals. And they uh and this is something where they keep coming back and they keep finding an enemy to kind of place this war against. So who's the war against right now, right? The war is against the rich. The war is against entrepreneurs who, you know, don't want to pay their fair share of taxes. But look at what keeps happening. These bozos in the United States keep spending more and more and more and more and more and more and more money. And they do not want to stop. Look at this. Almost over $34.5 trillion debt. There is no way that we will ever be able to pay that back. That's why it keeps going up. And why does it keep going up? Because they keep printing more money to keep paying out bonds to other people. And then they'll print it up next war, they'll print more up next pandemic, they'll print it. Just is an endless cycle. This is why I'm so bullish on crypto. This is why I'm so bullish on crypto. And by the way, hit that like button. Ruben, throw up the link as well. Let's throw the link up here. If you guys are interested in signing up with us here to learn more about crypto, to learn more about what I'm doing and how I'm doing it, we have an app. We have all sorts of really, really cool things here. There's a link that you can use to subscribe today, and that's 50% off. Usually our price is $194. Today it's $97 for you. So anyways, this is not getting any better. This is not getting any better. Now, while I've been out here, by the way, momentarily, the app is ARC, ARC-EDU, if you guys want to check out our app. And then there's a desktop version as well. There's Google, there's Apple, and then there's a desktop version. Okay. Now, here's the thing about Dubai. We've talked about all the things that are happening in the US. What's happening in Dubai? Why did I put the thumbnail here that it's the center of the cryptoverse, essentially? Well, for the first time, and let me tell you, like Panama is cool with crypto, kind of, but they're not. And they're crypto inept. All right. The banks are a bunch of idiots over there. Sorry. Except for maybe one, and that's because my buddy who runs it, he's a crypto guy. They're just crypto inept. Even my main bank that I have, I'm not going to say their name because I don't want to get kicked out, but they're really the one and only crypto bank. All right. And it took 2 months for me to get a loan for my car, and because they didn't understand how to look up my wallet on the blockchain. And I'm sitting here like, this is crypto 101. This is what we teach in our classes, right? And I'm like, you don't even need to run my credit. You don't need to do all these things. You want to see how much my net worth is and how much it's been? Here's my wallet address. Take a look at it. And I even gave them my D-Bank, which is like a clean breakdown of exactly what I own. It's not all of my wallets, but I gave them big enough wallets to where they were like, okay, that's a lot of money, but I don't understand. Break down all these transactions for me. And I was like, are you freaking kidding me right now? Crypto inept. Okay. And then I come here, their banks are open until 12 o'clock at night, 7 days a week. I think they open like at 5 in the morning, the banks. There's a direct link for you to deposit your crypto into these banks. They're very crypto friendly. The government here, which is a monarchy, there is a king here. Okay. There's no bullshit here. There's no protest. You're not going to go out here and protest. All right. But I'm going to tell you how I actually think this is an illusion. This is an illusion in Western countries and even in Latin America. But there's no two ways about it. Like the government says, we're going this way. That's the way we're going. All right. Now, I've been to some hardcore countries in my life. All right. It's not like I went to just European Union countries where they're very liberal and they're very this and they're very that. I've been to Lebanon. I've been to Russia. I've been to Qatar. I've been to multiple Bali, Indonesia. So I've been to some countries. All right. And I can tell you about their cultures, about their governments, about all these things. This government praises entrepreneurship. This government sees the value of people like me and probably a lot of you in terms of bringing innovation and crypto and educating the world on it. They put value on that. In fact, there's a golden visa for entrepreneurs that I'm actually going to be applying for here in a month or so. And it's a 10-year golden visa, meaning I'll have residency for 10 years here in Dubai and I can come and go as I please. Remember this? Let's see here. Remember this? Okay. So in Dubai, there's no taxes. In Dubai, there's no taxes. All right. And let me rephrase that. There's no personal income tax. And there's a business tax of 9%. Okay. So the businesses, they pay their fair share of 9%. That's it. You just pay your 9% as a business. Good. No social security, no this, no that. It's just a straight 9%. They run their country lean and mean. But let me tell you something. You come here, you drive on these freeways, they work, they're huge. Is there traffic? I mean, I haven't driven enough to say that there's like not traffic, but I've driven pretty much weekdays, weekends, all hours of the day, and the traffic has been very, very moderate. Okay. It's a very big, complex city with many people living in it. I think there's about 5 million people living in here. Okay. If I were to see, okay, 5 million people living in Panama, which they say there's about 2 million living right now, it would break the city. And the city's built in terms of living, the city's built for 4 million. If we were to add just another 500,000 to Panama, the whole fucking city would break. Here, they're planning to 10x the amount of people here. And they're making it really simple. They're making it really simple. They're like, look, if you can show us you're not useless, and that can be from a lower income job all the way up to the owner of Telegram, who's, very, very well off, we're going to accommodate you. Now, there's no nonsense. Don't come here protesting. You'll get kicked out. Don't come here thinking you're going to get drunk or that you're going to do drugs. And you can drink, by the way, but you're going to be drunk and driving around. You're going to get kicked out. But why isn't it like that in these other countries? And again, this is the illusion. This is the illusion that the United States and all these so-called democracies, which they're not, they're socialistic kind of democracies, because to be quite honestly, you think Trump is going to save you? You think Biden is going to save you? Nobody's going to save you. The country's run by the powerful, the people sitting in the Senate, the Congress, and they're not leaving. There's no limit. They are your kings and queens, whether you like it or not. And you keep voting these jokers in, thinking that you're making a difference. You're not. Your vote does not matter. And it shows all of your lives. If you're living in the US, unless you're just making a ridiculous amount of money and you don't give a shit about how much money you pay in taxes, you're not doing much better than you were in 2019. Majority of people are not. It's gotten much, much, much harder. And that's why people started running into speculative assets like cryptocurrencies, like Bitcoin, like gold, because they're like, man, what's out there that actually has value? And by the way, if you guys haven't hit the like button yet, I want to encourage you to, because it's going to help drive more people to the algorithm. And we have some juicy stuff coming here in regards to my experience here in Dubai. So, I met up with a friend, and in Dubai, there's something for everybody here. So if I wanted to keep my cost of living similar to the way it is, my lifestyle would probably go down a bit, okay, because it is a bit more expensive than Panama, not too much, all right? Certainly not as expensive as the United States. But like where I'm staying right now, I'm staying essentially in their version of downtown, which is the Dubai Mall, Burj Khalifa area. And I have everything here. It's pretty dope. I mean, literally, I can get anything that I want here. Yeah, it's all imported. All right. But that's cool. I I don't care. What I want is conveniences, and I want my life to be as convenient as possible. Now, is it safe? So, Panama, out of all the Latin American countries, is probably the safest, if not one of the safest. Okay. Um, a lot of the riffraff will happen outside of, the areas where I live in and where the majority of my friends live in. Okay. But you still see the graffiti. It's not bad. It's not bad. All right. There's certainly some US cities that are way worse. There's still some graffiti. Okay. Would I like leave my keys in my car? Probably not. You know, um, Here, from the second that I stepped off the plane, um, they talked to me about how safe Dubai is, okay, and the UAE is as a whole. The majority of the people that are here, I think it's something like 80 some percent or 90% of the people that are here are expats, okay? These are foreigners. These are immigrants. 80% of their population, okay? These guys are working very hard to bring people to this country because they see the value of creating something. Is there graffiti here? Hell no. There is not one piece of graffiti. You get caught graffitiing, I don't even want to think about what happens to the person that gets caught graffitiing. There's no riffraff. You get you get you steal something here, that's it, you're gone. You're out. Either you're out or you're going to jail for a really long time. They don't mess around. But you want to come and not be useless? You want to come and contribute? You want to put an oar in the water? Let's go, baby. Let's go. There's no limit to what you can dream up here. And that's why, like, when I said earlier, like, a lot of people say it's fake, and I'm going, like, fake? No, these guys took their dream and manifested it. Like, I go outside and I look right here, the tallest building in the world. Doesn't even look real. It's so tall. This thing is massive in terms of height. It's epic. It's epic. But if you come here, be nice, be courteous. You're not going to be starting fights. You're not going to talk about guns, all this stuff. Come on. This to me, when I saw this particular aspect of it, I fell in love with it. I fell in love with it because I was like, man, there's no bullying here. They don't put up with it in schools either. Okay. Schools are good. It's cheap to go to schools there. In Panama, it's not. It's thousands of dollars per month to send your kids to school, to a school that's worth it. I wasn't going to, if we remained in Panama, we were not going to send our daughter to school. We're just going to have her homeschooled because I didn't really care for the things that they were teaching. Here, I'm going to look into it. Maybe there's a possibility I would send her to school and not homeschool her. Why not? If they have good values, good principles, I'm all for it. I'm all for it. But also the crypto community out here. Now, listen, I want to show you this. I want to show you this video. I want you to listen to this video.
Rich and powerful have written the rules of our economy
Can y'all hear this?
Our government to benefit themselves. And here's one benefit for the ultra-rich. After making a killing from the economy they've rigged, they don't pay taxes on that accumulated wealth. Consider two people: an heir with $500 million worth of yachts and jewelry and fine arts, and a public school teacher with no savings in the bank. They both bring home $50,000, and they both pay the same amount in federal taxes, despite their vastly different circumstances. That's a system that's rigged for the top. It's time for a wealth tax in America. So here's how it works. Anyone who has over 50 million.
So this is Elizabeth Warren. Man, where do I start with Elizabeth Warren? Probably one of the most corrupt politicians out there, for sure. Somebody who's with so much lust to stay in power, she won't step down. Okay, she says she's doing it for the people. But then I come to countries like this one. I see there's no personal income tax. There's 9% tax on businesses, on profit, by the way, profit of the business. Okay. And yet they're still able to make ends meet. Now, yeah, some other stuff is subsidized, probably through oil. Okay. But they've started thinking beyond oil. Like, this is a freaking sunny ass country. So there's solar on every corner here. And in the desert, there's wind, right? And they're leaning more and more towards, is my Wi-Fi is not so good, huh? Maybe I need to reset it. Well, anyways, we're deep into this thing here. Ruben, is my Wi-Fi not good? It's not good? It's good? All right, cool. So oh man, where was I? I got distracted here. Anyways, they're coming up with new ways. Like in Panama, and again, I'm not like shitting on Panama. It's a great starter place, guys. But I'm starting to just kind of see where the opportunities lie, right? Like there's not a huge crypto community in Panama. Energy out there, okay? Energy out there is Man, for my apartment, it's a 1,500 square foot apartment. It's $100 a month. Super expensive. Super expensive. Okay. And my apartment is the only building that's really subsidized um somewhat by the government. They've got a contract with the government. So like the same apartment in like another building is $200 a month, where energy here is like $20 a month, right? And so I see these things, and then I also see the crypto community out here. You just saw this video of Elizabeth Warren. They're coming after the rich, the entrepreneurs, the people who have like, yo, I worked to get this generational wealth, and I should be able to pass it down to whoever I want to, as long as I did it legally, right? Maybe some of these people didn't do it legally, okay, but not all of them did. I can tell you that much, okay? Not all of them did, and yet they're instead of them going, you know what? Gosh darn it, guys, we're gonna reel in our spending. We're gonna reel in our spending and we're going to figure this thing out, because there's countries like Dubai, there's countries like Singapore, there's countries like um man, what's another one? Portugal, where they're bringing people in and they're not charging them any taxes. And yet we can't get our act together over here. We can't balance our checkbook because we need to teach people about, you know, the effects of manatees on this, or we've got a crazy welfare system because we need to buy votes. Man, I say fuck that. No way. That's why I've elected to leave the United States, and I'm not coming back anytime soon. I just don't think that they're gonna make meaningful enough impact to bring back the entrepreneurs that are really leaving the US. They're over it. And if and this is really something that, again, guys, gals, I want I'm doing this whole YouTube live to bring awareness to this, because I want to inspire you all to make a move. Like literally, if you're in the United States, if you're in Canada, if you're in Australia, if you're in, parts of Europe, they want to take everything, your life force, which that's the money that you make. That's your life force. They want to take as much of it as possible. And this is what I'm teaching. I'm teaching decentralized finance so you don't have to put up with that. And if you see in the link here, Ruben's popped this on. We've got 50% off of our subscription. Okay, 50% off. It's $97 a month. It's $194 usually. I'm giving you the code to sign up for 50% off to learn how you can do all this stuff. I'm going to go further into detail with my students. I've already moved, man, I want to say 10, 15 students. And it's not what we teach. We teach decentralized finance, but I throw out there how they can do it, and they can ask questions of me anytime they want. And I'm here to answer those questions and how they can reduce their overhead and come up with ways where they can start stashing more money. It's really hard to do it in the US. It's why I left the US. It's really hard because you've got, a really, really high federal income tax that once you leave and you're outside of the US for 330 days, you don't pay as a single person any tax on the first $125,000 that you make. And if you're married, even if your spouse doesn't work, you don't pay tax on $250,000. And that keeps going up and up every single year. Now, it kind of sucks because the US is the only country that's going to keep charging you, even though you don't live there. This is how greedy these motherfuckers are. They're going to they're the only ones in the world, that will still keep taxing you. Wow. Why? Wait, I don't live there anymore. I picked up and left. If you were to like leave from your apartment and go live in another apartment, why should that apartment be able to keep charging you just so you can have a little blue passport where you can get into the majority of countries visa free? You know what? You can keep that. I don't give a shit about that too much anymore because there's plenty of passports out there that give me access to the countries that I really want to be in, anyways. So I want to inspire people to make the move and to start thinking and smash that like button and share that live and to start thinking outside of the box, guys and gals. It's not a scary world, despite the fact that, United States says that. I'll tell you this much. This is one of the safest times that I've felt being here in Dubai than I've ever felt in my entire life. I'll tell you this. All right. I'll tell you this. I have not locked my car one time since I've been here. Haven't locked my car one time. All right. Even the front door here, I haven't locked one time. And it's just, I sleep really, really, really well. Yeah, look, Hayward's in Peru. All right. There's plenty of places in the world that you can go to. And by the way, you don't have to come to Dubai. Dubai for me is just like, if you're an entrepreneur, if you're if you're in the crypto space, this is where you definitely have to be. And by the way, I'm not picking up and leaving Panama like tomorrow. It's going to take some time because I do plan on coming to Dubai. I do plan on coming to Dubai. But I'm not planning on leaving just tomorrow. Okay. I still have some travels and stuff and there's some logistics that, we got to take a look at like as a family and stuff. But it's pretty cool, man. Everybody's nice. You're driving, people let you in. They don't do that in Panama, man. I want to just run my car into people sometimes in Panama, and in the U.S. as well, right? Here, come on in. They'll wait. You put your blinker on. They're kind. They're courteous. And here's another thing. I haven't seen one police officer since I've been here. I haven't seen one, not one. So, look, I know I've gone pretty long here. We're almost at the hour. This is where I think the opportunity's at right now in crypto. And I want to be rubbing shoulders with some of the best because I think iron sharpens iron. Ruben always says this. All right. Iron sharpens iron. And I want to be really, really having these awesome opportunities, and I want to be meeting like-minded individuals. Let's see here. Dual US Australian, renouncing US and doing Dubai in 1 to 2 years for my business and crypto. Awesome, man. Awesome. I love that. Alto Sax 449. That's a great idea. I'm actually working on my Spanish citizenship because then I'll be able to renounce my U.S. citizenship as well. I have the potential for a citizen by birthright from my mother's side, but I have to get my mother's passport first, and then I can apply for mine. And then I'll probably do that because again, I don't want the U.S. boogeyman chasing me forever. It's just not. Why? I mean, it's just horrible. It's horrible, right? What's up, Jay? So I wanna encourage everybody here to think outside the box. Again, I've got a lot of students that have moved out of the U.S. They're living way better lives. They don't live under the threat of, going out to a bar or restaurant or a music event or something, and having shootings and stuff like that. And by the way, here you don't have gun rights. Okay, I'm not really interested in gun rights. All right, here I'm not interested in rising up against my government. Okay, or any government that I live in. If I live here, I want to live in a government that I like and I trust. If I don't like and I trust it, then I will move. Okay, and that's just like simple thinking, right? You don't have to, it doesn't have to be complex. You don't have to, but I see all this stuff and it's like, everybody needs their guns. Everybody, I'm like, man, why the heck we live in the year 2024? Why the heck do you need a gun? Why don't you live in a country where you just feel safe? But you see in LA or some of these other left swinging states where people break into their house and then they shoot them with the gun and then they end up getting sued because you weren't supposed to shoot them despite the fact they came into your house. But they're not going to protect you. But you can't shoot them. But you can't protect yourself. What the fuck's up with that? What kind of clown world is that, guys and gals? Just go where it's going to be safe to begin with. Again, that's why I live in Panama. That's why Dubai is definitely an option, man. Definitely an option for me. This is really, really an option because the safety, that's number one for my family, is safety. Again, I've been to Lebanon. Did I feel safe in Lebanon? Hell no. There was a armed rebel fighter, and I'm saying this because I'm probably never going to go to Lebanon again in my life, an armed rebel fighter with a machine gun on every corner. And I'm like, what's going on here? Oh, my friends, no, you're safe. Don't worry. And by the way, I love Lebanese food. I have Lebanese friends. It's great. But do I need a gun to rise up against my country? No way. Why would I want to do that? I want to enjoy my life. I want my family to grow up where there's no war. I want to teach my kids and grow with my wife to have a better society where we don't have to fight. Just get along, man. Don't be a dumb shit. Don't go out and be drunk and throw up all over the place or something, right? Like, and I'm not saying everybody's here is don't go honking your horn and pissed. Relax, chill out. Don't go yelling and cussing people out. Don't go punching people. That's what I want. That's what I want. And I want to go where the opportunity is at. And I hope that that's where everybody here wants to go. I hope that's what your goal is. And maybe you found it in the United States. I don't know. I didn't. But if you didn't, start thinking outside the box. There's plenty of places in the world that you could go to. And I know it's scary to leave home. I know it's scary to move and make a life somewhere else. But I guarantee you'll be writing to your old self going, thank you for making that switch. Thank you for making that switch. I see a peaceful ruler. Bro, you're confirming my vision of leaving the system. Yeah, the system is rigged. The system is rigged. It's a Ponzi scheme. Guys, gals, I'm going to head to bed. I have some traveling. I'm going to Russia tomorrow. All right. I'm going to Russia tomorrow so my wife can visit her family. She hasn't been there in a few years. So lots of love. Thank you all for coming. If you haven't signed up already, here's the link. All right. And use the code. It's 50% off. You got nothing to lose. All right. If you don't like it, call us up. We'll give you your money back within 7 days. No questions asked. All right, everyone. I will see you on the next one. Again, lots of love. Cheers.